Okay, back up in this piece. Yes, I have shorts on. I had a mini little hiatus, you know. Why? I don't really have a reason. Things have been happening, and when it would come time for me to vlog, I would be like too tired to put makeup on. So it's early in the morning. The first thing I did was put on some makeup and a shirt. I still have my shorts on. I hope y'all can't see too much, but I don't think you will be able to. What's up? I have so much to vlog on. Let's start backwards. I was gonna, start forwards and count it down, but since last night was such a whatever night, let's discuss single parenting. So I got home last night and I got a text from Xavier's dad that was like, "You need to call me. It's an emergency. Call me ASAP." It's 12:53. Clearly, you're only going to call me at that time. You're only going to send that kind of text. It's about Xavier. So 12:54, I call him back. He's not answering. I call him for 10 minutes. At 1:07, I call his grandmother, like, "Listen, Quito called me, and this is what he said, and he's not answering the phone, and I need to know that Xavier's okay." So she's like, I won't give you all the details of the whole situation. Long story short, after I threatened to call the police at 1:30, exactly 1:30, I get a call back to find out my little boo, my little stinkums, my little Xavier Bean has a viral infection called CRUPS. I haven't even looked it up yet. I put my first medical expert on and I'm about to call the family doctor and get some further insight. But it was called CRUPS, and it was because of seasons changing. This is the issue, and this is where single parenting, this is the issue I'm having. Xavier's dad is a smoker. He smokes enough for 10 people. I'm not exaggerating. And I have a serious problem with it, and he knows that. And I know that I didn't send my child too sick. Xavier's not asthmatic at all. He doesn't have any respiratory issues. And I don't buy a respiratory infection off the seasons changing. It's only September 17th, y'all. The seasons haven't changed that much. It's still kind of warm out, It's cooler. It's not humid anymore, but don't try to play me for a fool. So it's like, what do you do, though? It made me think about it all night. Like, I'm sure that, for example, Xavier, in May, he was running down the sidewalk, tripped and fell. When he got up, I thought he busted his mouth when he got up. There was nothing there. The next morning, I'm feeding him breakfast. I'm like, let me look. And I see his whole front tooth is shattered, like literally all the little lines. And, so I had to call. I called his doctor, but, what are they going to do? They were like, you need to call the dentist. But he wasn't even, he's like 1.5 at this point. So, yeah, my mascara's bothering me right now. Sorry, y'all. So I had to call the insurance. They directed me to a dentist. I had to take him, x-ray. Bottom line, he had to pull the tooth. And, the whole time, I called his dad immediately. This is what happened. Now, clearly a tooth is not as whatever as an emergency room, but he's a boy. He's a child. And, yes, a child is going to get sick. And it definitely, what it was, why I was so upset in the 40 minutes that it took him to call me back, was because I didn't know if something was still going on. Like, were you in an accident? Is the house on fire? Did somebody get hurt? Like, are you in the ambulance right now because something really major happened to my child? That is what I was thinking about. Everything else that I can't stand wasn't even on the front burner. So, but then, like I said, I'm wondering, because I'm sure there'll be other times when I have to take Xavier to the doctor or emergency room or something happens, how he's going to be feeling, because you can't get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my issue. Like, of course I wanted to hop in the car and go, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't exactly know where I'm going. I don't know what hospital you're at. I didn't know at the time you were at a hospital. So being upset, other family members got caught in the crossfire. I definitely cussed his grandmother out. I did call back and apologize, but it's just, not even what do you do, how do you handle it? Because again, this is the permanent situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're never going to live together. I'm sure Xavier's going to get hurt sometimes. One of the only things I can even suggest at this point is that you have to make sure that you are available. Like, since there were other people with him, what I would have appreciated was at least one person manning his phone, so that for 40 minutes I didn't wonder about the well-being of my child. because that's a long time to wonder if your child's okay. Anything, we all know, anything can happen in 40 minutes. So, but yeah, I don't really buy the whole viral infection with the seasons changing, so I got my people on it. And if I find out that it has anything to do with you smoking around my child, I'm going to put a foot in your ass. And I'm not playing, and I'm not joking at all. Because I think that people who smoke around children are complete and idiot assholes. Sorry. You're an idiot. Why would you smoke around a child? Like, you don't feel like an asshole puffing smoke with somebody less than 2 in your same vicinity? You're an asshole. .com. And I don't understand why we're even still having this conversation. That was part of the reason why at first I wouldn't even let Xavier go, because that's a whole nother. And it was kind of, it was good for me because 2 people actually told me early on, Roxanne and Anye, when I was having a hard time about letting him go, when Xavier's dad, decided he was ready to be in his life. And I really think it was Anye who said it to me, but, Roxanne definitely co-signed that. I can only pray that when Xavier goes with his dad, he does the right thing. Like, you can't control that. I hope that's a message for single moms out there. I cannot control what is going to happen when he goes to visit his dad. I can pray that his dad makes the best decisions when he's around him. And I do wholeheartedly know it. If he doesn't, that is something that he will have to answer for in some shape or way. Like, I do my best. I absolutely do my best when it comes to Xavier, beyond my best, because I want more for my child than even I had. And believe me, that's a hard act to follow, because my dad is pretty amazing. And so if anything, that's what I feel intimidated about, trying to give Xavier more than me. I really do. But I believe that it's possible, and I believe that Xavier should have that. And one of the things that starts with is health-wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a small girl. Xavier's dad is not a small dude. So I'm very conscious about Xavier and what he's doing, and his health, and what he's around, because I believe that's part of living right, living well, having a good life. I'm trying to give him that. So when your father decides to smoke 6 packs of cigarettes a damn day, that is kind of counterproductive. It is. And again, I know I can't control what he does. I can only hope that he makes the best decision. But I don't feel like he's making the best decision. So it's making me feel like Mama's going to put a foot in your ass. That's what it's making me feel like. Because that's my child. It's my only child. And I think that, in this whole single parenting, I'm sure that his dad feels like that. He's feeling real, entitled right now because he has him for a month, and he kind of gets to see what it's like. I feel like, that entitlement all the time, or I've had that feeling longer. So that's why, I'm trying to consider his feeling, like, what if I had called him at 12:30 at night, But we all know, and I'm going to be honest, and yes, I'm going to say we all know, if that happened, I would have, definitely reached him, and if I couldn't, I would have texted him at least a little bit what had happened, if I knew I wasn't going to be available. And that's what I'm talking about. This is a whole nother topic. But people always act stupid about the technology of the future. Let's not act like it's not helpful. Text messaging is extremely helpful. I, lie to you not, you can laugh if you want, I believe Twitter or Facebook is going to save somebody's life one day. Hopefully not mine. But people act all stupid about it. You act all funny. Hey, people do this all the time. But it really is, can be helpful. If you use it, familiar with it, I was about to say if you use it as it should be, but people can use technology any way they want to. But we have text, we have smartphones. I'll tell you about this next. He has phones, you know what I mean? Xavier's dad is a cell phone dude. So there's no reason why you can't pop out a text real quick. This is what happened. I'm about to go in the back. I have bad service in the hospital. But use your technology, people, especially when it comes to your children. Why wouldn't you? So that's what I'm dealing with right now. In addition to vlogging, I got to put my medical people on this Krups viral infection, so that I know if I have to put my foot further up in somebody's ass. Good morning.